Okay, so I want to create a video just kind of giving a little tour of Blackboard. So I'll log in into the page for this class. Um, Now, this takes you to the readings, trainings, and tests portion of Blackboard, which is right here. So this is going to be your opening page, and you'll see that if it says right here, if you see nothing here, which I don't, take the syllabus test until you get 100. So that's one of the first things I want you guys to do is to take the syllabus test. And the syllabus test is um, all the answers can be found in the syllabus. So just pull out your syllabus and you should be able to get this real quick. So I'll just kind of show you how to do it. I'll just click on syllabus test and here it is. And I'll just start the test. It's 10 questions, all true and false. Just gotta go through and answer these questions real quick. Boom. Boom. Let's see. Boom. And once I get it all done, save and submit. Okay, and then you'll see, click OK, and it'll tell you what the score you got. And I've got 100. So now that I've got 100, if I go back to readings, trainings, and tests, all of these things now show up. So if you look and you don't see anything here, it means you haven't taken the syllabus test and gotten 100. You need to take the syllabus test until you get a 100. So like I said, this is going to be the opening page for the class. But let me go to a few places first. One of the things I have in here is a grade book. So this lists like the grades for everything that's to do for this class, and you'll see that it's got everything. Now, I kind of mentioned in the syllabus that you'll see that there's these makeup projects that are in here. Like there's make a project for online test, make a project for access test, Excel test, and Word test. These makeup projects are not calculated into the grade. These makeup projects are like and the way this works is like if you miss one of these 3 Word tests, you can do this makeup project for Word. And what I'll do is I'll take the grade that you got for this and replace either the 0 or the lowest grade of the Word test for that. So if you do a test and you get like a 54, you're like, okay, I don't like that grade, and you haven't you took the 3 tries at the test and you didn't get it. You can do this project and it will make up for the test. So that's the grade book. We'll go back out of here again. Syllabus and class schedules. If you need a copy of it, they're both here. You just click on it, it'll download, and you can open it up. Make sure this is right, because I had to update the syllabus a bit ago, and I want to make sure I got the right one up here. Yeah. Actually, this is supposed to be a little bit more, but we'll fix that. And we'll close this. And also I have the class schedule. And it opens the same way. So, there's class schedule. Alright, so that's those the 2 things that we have. Okay, if you are taking this class, don't use Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer causes a lot of problems. Firefox works good. If you have an Apple computer, Safari works good. One I really always suggest is Chrome, because I think Chrome works really well. I don't know why I've got these things doubled. I'll clean that up. But if you don't have Chrome, here's a link to install it. You just click on that and it'll take you to the Chrome's page and you can install it. So I really suggest that you use Chrome if you can. And one of the things that you need to do in Chrome is, and I'm going to turn this off just to show you what I'm talking about, is you need to disable pop-up blockers. I'm going to enable it because I want to show you what I'm talking about in a second. And I'll fix it later on. So I'll move here, and don't pay attention to what I'm doing because I'll fix this in a second, and I'll show you. In more detail how to get this. So, so, and I'll show you in more detail how to get this. So, so, and I'll show you in more detail how to get this. So, so, and I'll show you in more detail how to get this. So, so, and I'll show you in more detail how to get this. So, so, and I'll show you in more detail how to get this. So, So install Chrome, and like I said, I'll discuss pop-up blockers in just a second. So I'm going to move on down the list. The syllabus test is what we just took. Also, I have this thing called a practice test. What the practice test is, this again, it doesn't count towards your grade. You can take it as many times as you want to. I do not care what grade you get on this test. You can get a 0 on it. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. The reason this test is there is because it's just a very simple little test that I want you guys to do to make sure that your computer is working for when the time comes to do the real test. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So here's the practice test. I'm going to click on this. It's going to take me here, and you'll see I've got a problem. It says a pop-up blocker prevented content from opening in a new window. Please enable pop-ups for this site or clicking the following link to continue. So here's how you turn off pop-up blockers. And I kind of did this in reverse a second ago. So I'm in Chrome. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click these 3 dots right here. And then I'm going to go to Settings. I'm going to scroll down to Privacy and Security. And I'm going to go to Site Settings. Scroll down again, and I'm going to go to pop-ups and redirects. I'm going to click on that, and you see that it says it's blocked. And I'm just going to allow pop-ups. So I just click this till it turns blue. So now I can close this. I'm going to go back here again. I'm going to go to practice test, and I can click on this. And you'll see that it takes me through Cengage. This is one of the things that I talk about. Everything that you guys need to get to is going to be available to you on the BlackBoard page. So you don't need to go through MindTap and you don't need to go through SAM. Everything you need to do is available on the BlackBoard page. If you go digging around in MindTap and start taking tests in MindTap, there's a very good chance you may take a test that I'm not wanting you to take. And you're just wasting your time because you're taking the wrong test. You get a 0 on the test that I want you to take. So make sure when you click on the test, and I'll show you a second what I'm talking about. Make sure when you go to take a test that you're taking a test using a link from BlackBoard. Don't go digging around in SAM or MindTap. So I'm going to click on this. It says exam details. Actions allowed per task is 3. So this is one of the things I talked about in the earlier video. If it's a task question, in other words, it's going to tell you to, like for Word, it's going to tell you to bold some text or underline some text or something like that. It's going to give you 3 shots at it. If it tells you to bold a word and you underline a word, it's going to say you got it wrong. Do you want to try again? And you can try it again. If you hit italics instead of bold, it'll say you got it wrong. Do you want to try it again? Or you can move on to the next question. If you move on to the next question, when you get to the end of all the questions, it's going to come back to that question that you skipped. So don't worry about, you skip it and you're not going to get a shot at it. It's going to come back and it's going to make you answer all the questions that you skipped until you've either gotten it right or you've gotten it wrong 3 times. So I'll start the test. We'll click on Start. And this is a pop-up. So this is what that pop-up blocker, when we turn that off, that's what it allows. And I'm just going to go through here. And like I said, I don't care what grade you get on this. Let's see. The first personal operating system was DOS. An operating system is an update. Delete unnecessary is clean file. This cleanup. The blank determines it's an operating system. And Windows did not become popular until version 3.1. And then I got that done. I'm going to click Submit, and it's going to say, whoops, I'm sorry, cancel. Here's the thing. Don't hit Submit. Look, you got to make this window a little bit bigger, and then there's Submit. Oh, and look, it erased my answers. Crap. DOS. Update. Cleanup. 3.1. Operating system. Submit, and it's going to say answer correct, moving on. So it'll take me to the next question. Looks like this is a question for Word. At the beginning of the document, change the font size of About Dog Training Programs heading to 16 points. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to change it to 16 points. Answer correct. Moving on to the next task. And I'll show you what happens if you get one wrong. Italicize the word every in the last paragraph in the document. So let's see, last paragraph, every. It says it wants me to italicize it. So watch this. I'm going to click it, or double click it so it selects it. And I'm just going to underline it rather than italicize it. So click on this, and it says answer incorrect. Go on to next task, or retry the task. And then I'll do this wrong again. I'm going to click on every again, and this time I'm going to bold it rather than italicize it. Got it wrong. So I'm just going to go on to the next task. And so it takes me to the next one, application that are installed on your computer or local, applications that have access to internet are web-based, applications that run from mobile sources are portable, and tablet smartphones is mobile. Answer correct, moving on. I think it's my third. And I tell you what, I'm just going to pause the video and I'll show you what happens when I get to the end. So that way you won't have to sit here and watch me to do this. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm on the last question. And it just says correct a misspelled word interest in the last sentence. So I'm going to correct it. Answer correct, advancing the next task. Now you see what it's done is it's going to take me back to that question that I skipped earlier. So now I can get this right, and I'm going to go here. And it says it wants me to italicize it, so I will. It is italicized, right? Yeah. And now the answer is correct. You completed all tasks in this exam, okay. And then I get this little blue box that says what my score is. Now, I really suggest that when you take a test, that you either take a screenshot of this, take your phone out and take a picture of it, or print it, or something. Just because it's going to help you. You know, if something happens and a grade doesn't transport over, if you have this, then it lets me know that you did take the test, and I can fix that really, really quickly. Another thing that you look at on this is like, let's suppose that I got this, that I didn't get a perfect score. Let's suppose I didn't get 10 out of 10. Let's suppose I got one of them wrong. I can click on this button that says View Report. And what this is going to do is it's going to create this report. Let me move this to where you can see it. It's going to create this report. And this report is kind of handy if I want to retake the test. I'll make this bigger. So if there's like one of these, so you can see these are the ones I've got correct. All of them are correct. So if there's one that you didn't get correct, it'll show you which one you didn't get correct, and it gives you a link to either in the textbook of where you might find the answer, or in training of where you might find the answer. Now I've noticed that sometimes these don't always jive up to the right place, so sometimes you may have to do a little bit more digging, but for the most part they're right. So you can print this out, you can study it before you take the before you take the test again, so you just have a better opportunity to increase or do better on your grade. Again, I stress this a lot. These tests are due generally, except for the last PowerPoint test, these tests are due Sunday nights at midnight. Do not wait until the last minute to take these tests, because chances are on any particular Sunday night at midnight, there are more than one test due that night. So there may be 3 tests due that night. You can take the test early. You can take the test today. It doesn't matter. You just can't take the test after the due date. So take the test early, and that way it gives you time to answer the questions that you may have gotten wrong. It gives you time to go through and answer them 3 times. And it gives you an opportunity, if you don't like the score that you got on the test as a whole, you can take the test again. And you can look at the report, see what you got wrong, go out and find the correct answer, and that way when you take the test the next time, you'll know the answer and you'll do better on it. Give yourself plenty of time. I suggest this all the time. Take out your smartphone set a reminder for every Friday to remind you to look and see if you have any tests due that weekend. And then if you do it on a Friday, that gives you all weekend to do those 3 tests or however many tests are due. And you got time to study, you got time to do the test, you got time to do every question 3 times, you've got time to take the test as a whole. If you don't like the grade you got, you can look at the report, you can study and get the correct answers, you can take the test a second time or a third time. So just make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to do all of this stuff. So that's how you take a test in BlackBoard. So that's all done. And now if I do this right, I'm going to go back to Gradebook, and I should see that my practice test, I got 100 on it. Okay. So syllabus test, practice test. Okay. Next thing to go to is like, this is when you log on to Blackboard and you go to this page, go to the page for this class. This is going to be your opening page. I made this the opening page because this is where most of the stuff happens for this class. This is where almost everything is here. So, and I've got it broken down into the 5 sections. I've got the preliminary chapters, which is just general hardware, software stuff about computers, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, and PowerPoint. And these are the order in which we're going to do them. So let's suppose that we're in our Word section. I'm just going to go here first. And I'm going to click on this, and this takes me to everything that I need having to do with the Word section. So if we're looking at Word Module 1, I click on this, and this first link and all of these sections will take me to the textbook. So I click on this. It's going to take me straight through Cengage. So again, I don't have to deal with any other portals. Everything that I need has a link in Blackboard. And it's going to take me eventually to the textbook. And here's the textbook for the first chapter. Talk a little bit about this. The one thing I like about this book is, well, there's a few things I like about this book, is every chapter in the Office products has a project that we're working on. So for like this one, we're going to create a project that's going to create this flyer called Surf's Up. And so when we're done, we're going to be able to have this thing complete. So if you follow along in the text, you can do this project step by step, and it kind of reinforces what they're trying to go through. And so here's kind of like how this works. You'll notice when we start getting into the text, we have these orange boxes. And these orange boxes are the steps that it wants you to take. That's and there's also videos. These boxes are the steps that it wants you to take to create this project. So like this one, it wants me to I'll just kind of open one up real quick. I'm just going to open up a blank Word document here. Blank document. And so like I can go here and it says type Surf's Up as a headline. So it's just, and that's all I do is just, and I mean it's just going to do step by step. Exclamation point is wanting me to have that. Yeah. Press the enter key. And see, it's like it's really step by step. And I just keep moving on. Display formatting marks. That's this. See, it looks like that. So it kind of shows you what it's supposed to look like. So these little step-by-step things are going to be really, really helpful to learn what it's talking about. So it's like a hands-on kind of thing. So if you're having trouble, especially when we start getting into things that maybe you don't use as much, like Excel and Access particularly, because some people have a little bit of experience with Excel. They may not be really great with formulas and stuff in Excel. So if you do these step-by-step things, it's really going to help you learn what you need to know as far as doing these projects. All right, I'm through with that. So then I'm through with this. There's also training. So before you take the test, you may want to do this training. And then there's some other Office Mix shows real-world usage of module content. So there's other things that you can do. So like this is a textbook, this is training, and this is just some extra stuff. So I'm going to go back to Microsoft, go back to the sections of Microsoft Word. Oops, I'm sorry. Take me back here. I'm going to click up here, and that'll take me back out of here. So here I'm back in the Microsoft Word folder, just to kind of show you where I was at the beginning. Whoops, go back out of here. Readings, trainings, and tests. Microsoft Word. And so here's the Word folder, Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. Each of these sections is exactly the same. Module 3 is exactly the same. Alright, so that's the textbook and the training and stuff like that. If you need to take a word test, because there's going to be 3 word tests, that's here. All 3 tests are located here. Module 1, Module 2, and Module 3. Each of these tests are, especially when we start getting the Office products, they're task driven. So sort of like in the practice test, it's like it tells you to make a word italicized or type text or something like that. That's the way each of these tests are going to work. Again, you get 3 shots at every task, and then you get 3 shots at the questions at the test as a whole. So again, I can't stress this enough. Don't wait till the last minute. Give yourself plenty of time to do the test. To give yourself plenty of time to answer the questions 3 times if necessary. Give yourself plenty of time to take each test 3 times if necessary. That's going to make your grade better. If somebody calls me or somebody emails me and say, hey Brewer, I'm having problems with my grade really sucks. If I go through and look at the grade book and see that someone got a 57 on Word Module 1 test, and then I look and see that they only took that test 1, I can safely assume that they were satisfied with the 57 because they had the opportunity to take that test again and again after that to bring that grade up. So you have every opportunity to get a great grade in this class. You just got to put the work in and put the time in. So that's the way reading, training, and testing. And all these sections work the same way. So like Excel is the exact same way. The textbook, the training, and then some extra stuff. And then I'll go back here. Here are the 3 tests for Excel. Access is a little different. Access only has 2. It's also got some class files, which I include for practice stuff. But it's only got 2 modules, and there's only 2 tests. And then PowerPoint is 3 again. PowerPoint is Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, and tests for each of those 3 modules. So those are where the 13 chapters are, the 13 tests are. All right. So let's suppose that you've taken the test, you take it 3 times, you don't like the grade you get, or for some reason you miss a test. Please do not miss a test. I cannot stress enough that just because I have makeup projects, don't do them unless you absolutely have to, because these things are really, really, really technical. They're very detailed oriented. They take a lot of time. They're not easy. I don't grade them. The computer grade them. So let me show you. Let me give you an example of how specific this is. If you're doing like the makeup project for Word, and it tells you to type a sentence, and you accidentally include 2 spaces in between 2 words instead of 1, it's going to say that you got that task incorrect, and it's going to count against your grade. So it's very, very, very detailed oriented. It's very specific. So I really take the tests. The tests are going to be far easier and less drama that you're going to have to deal with in your life than that. But if you do need to take one, there are a preliminary makeup for the preliminary chapters. If you missed one of the tests, I have a makeup for it. The makeup for it is like, the bad thing about it is like it includes all 5 sections, not just 1 through 3 or 4 and 5. It includes all 5 sections. It includes all of the tests, so there's like all of the questions, so there's like something like 50 questions. You only get to take it once, and it is timed, 75 minutes. So you need to study very well before you even sit down to take the test, because you're not going to have enough time to go through the textbook and stuff like that, and you only get 1 shot at it. I've created this. This is a video, I believe. Yeah, this is a video about like how to do one of these tasks.
Welcome to Cengage Learning's
So you can watch that
online tutorial
I'll
training
kind of
series.
give you a little bit of example of it. So let me show you a little bit about how this works. I'll just do the one for Word. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to, again, take me directly where I need to go. I really stress this a lot. All of the things that you need to get to are going to have a link in BlackBoard. So use that. And one of the things, and if you do one of these things, it also tells you the project is not compatible for Office for Mac. You've got to use a Windows PC with Office on it. I know a lot of you guys are using Chromebooks. Chromebooks are not going to be useful for, you can't do these projects on a Chromebook. You've got to have a Windows PC with Office. So you may want to think ahead of time, like, hey, I need to get access to a Windows PC just in case I need it. But I'll kind of show you how this works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click Start, and it's going to take me where I need to go. And there's two files that I'm going to download, the instruction file, and then there's the start file. So I'm going to download both of them. I'll click on this, and there it is down there. And I'll click on this, and there that is down there. Now I'll open these two files up, and here they are. I know it's a little bit hard. They don't show up in this thing. If you get one of these things that says enable editing, you're going to need to do that. All right, so this is the instruction file, and it gives you step by step of what you're supposed to do for this document. And at the very end, it'll give you you'll be able to visually see what the document is supposed to look like when you're done. So that'll be helpful a lot. One of the most important things that you need to do is up here in this Getting Started section. You'll see it says open the file named SCWD16-2A underscore first name last name underscore one doc. So we open that, and here it is. You'll see up here at the top, SCWD16 underscore 2A Chris Brewer underscore one doc. And the first thing it tells me to do is save the file as SC blah blah blah. I just need to change that 1 here to a 2. And that's what it says, change a 1 to a 2. So I'm going to click on File, and then Save As. And I'm going to change this 1 to a 2. And I'm just going to save this to my desktop. Let's see. I won't save it in the documents. I want to save it desktop. And I just save it just flat out on the desktop. And hit save. And here it is. Here's a document on my desktop. And you'll see that it now says SC blah 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 underscore 1-2. I think I must already have this open somewhere because it's got this parentheses 1 somewhere. I don't know where. But anyway. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the instruction file and I'm going to follow this step by step until I get this document done. Until I complete all of the tasks for this document. And when I get that done, I'm going to save it. Just hit save. And wherever I saved it to, and we'll go back to here, I'll hit continue. This is after I get everything done. Hit continue, and then I'm going to upload it using this. Oh, there is this. I think this is my. Yeah, there it is. Here's a file, and I'm just going to click it. I told you I thought I'd saved this earlier, so this is the one I saved earlier. Now I haven't done anything to this one, so it's going to say I got everything wrong, but I'm just going to show you how this works. I'm just going to click this and drag it. And you'll see that it's ready to submit. I'm going to hit submit. And boom, 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 view reports. And so this is going to kind of show me how I did. So I click on this. Here's my report. Make sure you can see this. Here's my report down here. And of course I got everything wrong because I didn't really do anything to it. If it tells you that your file has the wrong name, it's probably because you did not have this 2 here. This file has to be exactly the way it says in the instruction file. But that's the way you would do one of these projects. But don't do these unless you absolutely have to. I mean, you can use it if you miss a test. You can do it if you get a grade that you don't necessarily like and you want a better grade. You can do it. But the tests are going to be far easier and less headaches for you. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is download text files. I have a couple things. One, I have all of the PowerPoints. If this were an online class, these would be the PowerPoints that I would use for these classes. So in Word, you'll see that I've got a Word Module 1 PowerPoint, so I click on this and open up and I'll see the PowerPoints. These are the PowerPoints that I might use if I was actually given this thing in a in-person class. So this is pretty much all of the PowerPoints. All right, we'll go back again. Now, you remember when I was doing let's see, I guess I should have left this open. I'm going to go back for 1 second. I'm going to go to Reading, Training, Test. I'm going to go to Microsoft Word, Module 1, and then I'm going to click on this. Now, you remember when I told you that there's a step-by-step thing? Takes a while to get into this. And you remember there was like a picture. This is Surf's Up. Oops, I think I'd already passed the picture. It went back to where I was before, so it remembers where you were. So let me go back to the. So here's the flyer that we're creating, and there's this picture. Now, where does this picture come from? This picture comes from download text data files, download student data files. I'm going to click on this. This is going to take me to a web page. Again, all of the links that you need are in BlackBoard. I really stress this. Don't go getting lost in places in MindTap or Cengage or any place that you don't need to go. I'm going to click on this link. This is going to take me to a page that has a book resources for the textbook. I'm going to click on data files, and then I'm going to look for what I want. So like I want the Word Module 1 data files because I'm looking for that picture. I'm going to click on this, and this takes a while sometimes. And when it gets done, I'm going to have the data files that I need that are going to be in that picture. Let me see if it's downloaded yet. Sometimes this takes a while, so downloads. Yeah, it's just going to take a while for it to work. Sometimes what I do to try to speed things up, I right-click on it. Oh, it's not going to let me do it that way. I may try to see if I can download these myself, and that way you all won't have to. I'll see if I can create a link that just downloads these. I already have them downloaded, and you can download them straight from my page rather than going through BlackBoard. But that's where you would get those data files. Then I have a link for BlackBoard help. It's not really very useful. If you have any problems, you probably need to call tech support for JCC. If you have a problem with Cengage, which is like dealing with the people who take care of the test. So like if a test is not working for you, you would click on SAM help. I'm not tech support for SAM, so you would need to call this number and just follow the keys. It'll ask you if you need technical support. So just follow the leads, and it'll tell you where you need to go. Okay, so that's about a 34-minute video. Hopefully this explains a lot about like how to use BlackBoard for this class. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day.